All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals. So today, not going to be current events. You guys got some good current events already. Give me a like as soon as all of you get in here. Reminder, by the way, all my links are right there. Check all my stuff out. That's creating some interesting conversations. Some of even the contacts I'm getting from different people about all that's been some funny conversations. But yeah, I see all my links. Let's talk a little bit about training. And yeah, I'll discuss some of the NH stuff too as we come along. But kind of what I'm doing with my training, stuff I said a little bit back. I started doing a little bit and then I didn't go that far with it, adding the box squats and stuff back in for the conjugate. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've realized there are parts of the roots of my channel that I need to get back to. Right? My physique has improved dramatically. I've gotten tons of compliments in general. People have been very happy with it. Even people who are haters have pretty much said, look, your physique is the best it's ever looked. I'll give credit for transformation. I need to get strong again. So what I'm going to do, as I said in that status, I'm going to start fusing what I've been doing with the body part split, what I've been doing with the powder building, with the bodybuilding work. I want to start merging it with the old conjugate ideas and flow it together. The stuff that I use to get really, really strong, right? So what do we mean by pretty strong? For me, I mean, in my 40s, I hit that 365 pause close grip. Straight up raw, no elbow sleeves, 2 count pause on my chest, right? You guys remember that, flat-footed, flat back. 635 conventional deadlift. I pulled 625 on a deficit. You guys saw me hit some pretty high squats, 600 plus with the cambered bar. They were a hair high. So we saw all that stuff. I need to get back to that strength level while lighter and leaner and looking better. So that's kind of my goal. So what does that mean? We're going to keep the attention to body parts in. We're going to keep the bicep work in. I'm going to do preacher curls. I'm going to do incline curls. We're going to do all that stuff still because, quite frankly, the arms need to keep coming up. But I'm going to incorporate, and I'm not going to go on full conjugate. I'm going to go a mixture. I want to take the elements of conjugate that I truly found effective and merge them with the bodybuilding training to create big fusion. So take these different ideas that I've implemented successfully in the past to get strong, to the stuff I've done to improve my physique. And here's what I'm going to do. People say, well, what about the physique end? It really just building the biceps and pecs and stuff further. We'll handle that on the muscle side. The diet and the cardio have to stay there. So those have been the big game changers too, right? The body fat loss. I need to continue that. So I do need to continue to chip away a little bit at it. Conjugate isn't a perfect system. It's not perfect for bodybuilding, right? But that's what I'm trying to mix it all together. Taking the stuff I've done, looking at what guys like O'Hearn have done for the power building, I implemented a lot of those ideas. And then fuse it back over to Louis Simmons' stuff and all the stuff I learned with Conjugate and just create this beautiful hybrid system. I got a big old pimple on my neck. Oh my God. I'm going to have to sort that later. Well, there's Coach Marshall Troyan. No, I'm just on a TRT right now. And I really do mean that. I don't mean TRT. I mean actual 125 test set. Like true TRT. So let's not get it twisted. Not YouTube TRT, right? Quote, wink, wink. Not that. We're talking actual, the real deal. So that's always some confusion, isn't it? So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And like I said, I'm going to rotate back to a little bit lower carbs again. I was just happier with it. Yeah, everyone's like, you look thicker. I'm like, I look fluffier. And I don't feel that it improved the training at all. Like I did it, ran it a couple weeks, and I'm just like, I'm not seeing the training improvements. When I was adding all the box squats and stuff back in while doing the lower carbs, that's when we were going really good. Jack, I'm not going to do trend. Now, trend is not even in the cards. I am 48 years old. It is not worth dying over. But let's get over to y'all's comments. Look at massive bro. Look at the veins. We got them veins going. All right, we got some veins. Right, got the arm veins going. Appreciate it, brother. You really improved physique for the business. Good stuff, man. And I need to keep improving the physique, Steve. I feel like For me, if I bring up the biceps, I figure if I add another inch to the arms, right? We need another inch of bicep, a little more teddy, tighten the waist up a little more. I think that'll be a good approach. But I need to get strong, guys. I got to hit that 375 bench this year. I want that 375 bench. I want a 550 squat, all that stuff. No, they're about 16 and a half right now. So they need to be about 17 and a half. That would be a good place. While being a little leaner, hair leaner. Great advice on the last 5 streams about not approaching girls' gym. By the way, guys, hey, look at all these comments, and we only have 3 likes. Could y'all help a brother out? Click that like button. You know you want to click it. Go on. Click my like button. I'll talk sexy to you. There we go. Thank you. There you go. Daddy likes it when you click the like button. All right. Conjugate isn't a perfect. We already covered that. Advice in the last 5 streams about not approaching girls' gym most. Yeah, don't do it, dude. Guys, it's just not. That is the worst place to meet girls. And guys say, but there's some good looking girls there. Okay. Here's the problem. They're used to dudes hitting on them. You better have tremendously good game. If you have good enough game to actually pick up women at a gym, you're already pretty much a player. Like, why do you even need to bother? Because it's so much more difficult. They are not interested. Like, women hate that. So if you got that level of game, why do you even need to bother doing it at the gym? You already have 3 or 4 girls in your rotation. Right? So, I mean, if you're that smooth, then, see where I'm going with that. Even though Michael Trent is a fake natty, his training, Mike's training is solid. And that's what I tell people. Look, you can hate on Mike for the fake natty thing. You can hate on him for the frog. You can hate on him for the duck eggs. But you cannot say the man's training is not flawless, because it is. His training is dialed in. You really have to give credit where credit is due. Right? All right. Okay. Were you back on some trend? Nope, monster. Could you have coached Jiz if you? I don't even know how to answer that question. I approached a girl and she flirted me in cat. I don't even know what you wrote. Spring break, dude. I'm not 20 years old. Spring break. What the hell is spring break? Think about what you just wrote. You just asked a 48-year-old man if he's got spring break plans. What? I mean, I don't have a bunch of kids in college that I plan on, celebrating their spring break with them. Yeah, I figure I got 2 sons about college age and I'll go party with them on spring break. I can tell you're really young. I was not in the Army, Yasmin. Spring break is school students. How much have you charged for? Oh my gosh, Chuck. I know where that conversation came from. That would be not legal to do, Chuck. You realize that selling sexual services is not legal. So I would never break the law. NH is applying to comments on his own YouTube channel. He's been active. What? Is he active now? Did he delete any of my stuff finally? He probably got upset. They probably let him out of detention at the ICE Center. Spring break is for school students, not grown men. Pretty much Yorkie. I left a bunch of stuff. I advertised for my OnlyFans on his thing. By the way, I'm not banning. I'm only getting rid of nonsense. I temporarily am just removing trolls out of here. Like, I don't want trolls. I don't want trolls in my streams. They detract from it, but I'm not actually banning them. So they're just banned from the streams for a day or so. We just get rid of them. James, go look and see, unless he deleted all of it. I literally advertised. I can't believe I got that pencil there, man. That's going to be bothering me that whole stream. I can't believe that. Pretty sure Jason doesn't have part. Oh my God. Hey, Chuck, you shouldn't even need to address that. Oh, that's always something. They accused me of having AIDS the other day. I've been accused of type 2 diabetes recently. My haters accused me of having HIV, all sorts of stuff. I think NH is at Guantanamo. Opinion on speed deadlifts with bands. How effective are they? Very effective. Devin, I used to do plenty of those. I don't have my band pegs set up on my thing because they were getting in the way. So I'm just stick with chains. Also, let's stay on topics. Guys, remember, don't address trolls. Just ignore them. Don't feed them. So opinions on speed deadlifts with bands are very effective. But, that's the thing. So is everyone saying NH is back? Do I need to investigate? Hold up. Let's go check it out. I haven't seen anything, so I'm going to look whilst we are in the middle of this. I'm actually curious. I don't think he has. If he did, it's been a response to me because I've been spamming all over his stuff. Let's find out. Go to his little story hour video. No, my stuff is still up. He's not responding. No. He's not posting anything, guys. I just typed the newest comments. Nothing from him. The newest comments are from me on his newest video. I have the newest comments. He didn't. Who are the current clients who are blogging? When Justin has time, he doesn't always get me the footage. But right now we have Gustav, Matthias, we have Ted, right? Well, trolls versus stalkers, Chuck, there's two different things, right? And then we have Alex. Those are the current bloggers. And he's responded to a comment 4 days ago. Then asked why he's coming back, and he said soon. Yeah, we'll see about that. I can't find any of it anywhere. What video was it? It can't be any of his recent videos in the last 7 days. James, go to his newest videos, dude. Go for it. Haters are people who don't like me. Stalkers are people who literally try to obsess over details of my private life off the internet. Understand the difference? Hey, James, if you know my address, you're a stalker. If you can name at least 3 of my ex-girlfriends by first name, 3 or more, then you're a stalker. If you know my sister's name, you're a stalker. Understand the difference? Callie, the booty warrior muscle. Oh. Jason, bleep, block, bloop, block. Oh. Well, clearly people do. They dox me all the time. So, Jason, you say you're going to squat deadlift twice a week. Does that mean both in the same? They'll be the same workout, just like I used to do. I mean, you've seen me squat over 500 pounds and deadlift over 600 back-to-back in the same workouts before, haven't you? His most recent video, I checked it. There's no recent comments from him. The most recent comments are from me. They're not from him. I don't see anything recent. I haven't seen anything in the past week on there. So I'm not sure about that. Imagine caring whether a powerlifting YouTuber lives in his family names. Exactly. Well, they're sexually obsessed with me. In fact, I got a message from someone, an insider was telling me some of them are actually upset and they want to plot revenge on me because they can't afford my nude photos. And they're actually upset that they can't afford them, because $20 is a lot of money for them. Now imagine if they spent that same time hating on me, going and doing some extra work. They could afford endless nude photos of me. That's the ironic part. They could afford to pay me to send them degrading voice messages. Did you leave comments on other people's videos? Not vegan, James. I started doing it this week. Yeah, I used to never do that. I went years and years and years and years and years without doing it. But I'm like, If they're not going to delete it and he's not there to police it and this guy's made money off my name, I'm going to go advertise directly under his videos, right? Why wouldn't I? Yeah. Why wouldn't I do it? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I mean, I probably went 10 years without posting anything under anyone else's videos, probably a decade at all. But I'm like, man, I might as well. I did it to Lowblinder too. When he called me a sex worker, I went and advertised my OnlyFans right under the video, and I thanked him for the free advertising. I heard they even distributed QR coded flyers all over. Yes, they did. They really did, Chuck, which is illegal, by the way. I remember one of the Frenchie's old videos, he called himself a genetic freak. He's a freak, that's for sure. You should go after Vegan Gains, right? I should pick a fight with Vegan Gains. Honestly, it probably would help outreach if people like VG Malawolf delete them. You can get good content calling them out, right? Yeah, Lowblinder made one. He did. And I picked up, like when he made that video, I picked up 3 followers on OnlyFans within the next day of him making that video. Right? No, Chuck, the nature of it, actually. What they did is technically a police report. There's specifics to it. Do you think farmers walks are good for body? I think farmers walks are just an all-around good general exercise. Also, guys, we at 9 likes. Could we, Daddy wants y'all to click that like button. Can you do that for me? I'll talk to you in my sexy voice. Let's get them likes up. Come on. Press that button. You know you want to. That made me very uncomfortable. Well, Joe, sometimes you got to get outside of your comfort zone to make some gains. We talk about in the gym. Louis Simmons told you that. You got to get out of your comfort zone. Only things Vegan Gains agrees with you on is dislike towards Frenchie. Jason, you could technically, Yorkie, as one of my friends pointed out, I am a professional model now. She's like, you're making money for your pictures on OnlyFans. She goes, you are a professional model. I hit the like or dislike after I watched the video. Well, we in the middle of it now, Chuck. Come on now. I know we should get some back and forth. Actually, it would be good for his outreach too. Richard and I should get in a big old fight. Hey, Richard, someone link him this part. Richard, let's get in a big fight. I think it would be good for everybody's business. Right? What we need to have a debate on is who has a bigger penis. But I already think we know who's going to win that one. All right, Vegan Gains live streams are just him falling asleep for half of it. Yep. Do you think you have a bigger hog than Vegan Gains? I don't know, Atomic. You've seen it, right? I mean, people have been paying for pictures of it. So my question is, I don't know. What do you think? You've seen it, right? One YouTuber, Isaac Butterfield, reviewed Vegan Gains video, and I think that video got millions of views. Hey, Jack, it's not hard to be over average. Average in America is like 5.2, dude. Oh, we review the OnlyFans. Oh, you haven't seen it. Well, why haven't you? Hold on. I'll link all my stuff then. I sent a second one out this morning. A few people paid for already. I just shot it through the DMs. I didn't even do a preview. Why not? You know, here's the thing I've realized. People are going to accuse me of it. I was going to do totally just PG-13, but then I realized there was demand for it and I can charge extra and not even put it in the main thing. People were treating me like I was doing it anyway. So I already did the crime. I was already punished for the crime. So you might as well do it and then collect the money. That's how I view life. You know, someone tries to charge you with robbing a bank that you didn't rob, go ahead and rob a bank. I mean, you've already been accused of the crime. No, I'm not going to show my booty hole. Would you collab with a T-girl? That's not on the agenda. I mean, maybe if it was Blair White or something, but that's about it. That name's going to keep coming up in these because someone dropped that on me in the middle of the stream. They're like, okay, coach, you're strictly taco, no burrito, but what about if it was Blair White? I'm like, that's not fair. Really not fair. Why are you going to put me in that situation? You know? Hey, Yorkie, do you think I care? Yorkie, let me explain how this works. Do you think I care? See, they're paying me money. Right? Mm-hmm. And besides, do I really care? If someone is paying for it and then they pay for a nude and then they leave a massive compliment and then they pay for another nude, do you really think I care? I drink close to a gallon a day. Everything total, like the coffee. Well, with the coffee and everything added in, about 1 gallon. And also, you guys have already seen some of the OnlyFans followers come in here and leave compliments. I don't think they're making too much fun. So, no. Plus, I get plenty of compliments in real life. So again, the internet's perception versus the real people's perception. Come on. Have you ever learned anything? I've learned tons of stuff from other stuff. Okay, Chuck, I'm uncoachable in the sense of I don't like men telling me what to do. That makes sense. I'll listen to a woman to some extent. I don't play well with other men in regards to being bossed around. I just don't. So I'm sure as hell not paying somebody to do it. Now, will I listen to advice from truly knowledgeable people? I mean, I give credit to all the time to Louis Simmons. I've had people give me great tips on the guitar. I've learned many things from other people about lifting, obviously, all these things. Am I 7 because almost nobody can do that? Yeah, I take special requests, but they have to be done through OnlyFans. How much would Anish have to pay you to coach him? He wouldn't. Bodybuilders need what? That's just a weird comment. It's trolly, but it's not stalking. I'll leave it for now. Also, let's get a few more likes in here, guys. Come on. Get them likes up. Yeah, Chuck, uncoachable doesn't mean unteachable. No, Alan, I'm not charging a lot for them, honestly. But they're already double paying to get them, so it's no big deal. I don't really care. All right. Attempted, I'm not capable of it, like MS7. So what a silly comment. You know how rare the ability to do that is? All right. Tristan, they're going to leak them. It's going to happen. Like, that's just a normal part of it. You can find nudes of all these chicks already. You have OnlyFans. Doesn't mean people aren't paying for all the new stuff. Plenty of them are making their living on it. Quite a fair amount. Some of them are making insane money. So why do you care? I mean, again, if you research this, so because I'm a guy, Yorkie, people aren't going to leak it? I don't understand. Remember when Straplin was recommending enlarging it? Oh my gosh. Man, that's sad. Was he real? I mean, I've heard you guys say he was doing that, but I mean, come on, guys. Like, first off, that's not going to work. I mean, secondly, secondly, look, guys, it's just, I don't know what advice to give you other than get better with your tongue and fingers. Something about the motion of the ocean or the angle of the dangle, whatever those words they give you. That stuff women say to make you feel better. Who's the most closeted of the noble natties? Oh, hands down, NH. Hey, Alan. So why do you guys have to go there and say stuff like that? My family wouldn't approve. Well, I don't. Alan, you want me to just be honest with you? I quite frankly don't give a shit what your family approves of. I'm not trying to be mean, but literally nobody cares. Sorry. I mean, you guys try to relate it. Well, you're trying to relate your stuff to me. I just don't care. You're not in the same situation I am, These guys are so weird about that. All right. My professor is currently working on a study of incels. Oh, man, that's going to be some interesting stuff. What are your limits for requests? Hey, Tristan, I don't understand your question. Please ask it a different way. My limits on requests, you don't get to ask them in here. You have to ask them as an OnlyFans member. That's my limit. I don't take requests outside of paid members. There's no limits on what you can request. I just might say no. There's a good chance I'm going to say no if it's something extreme. Dana is one hot, but I actually think Dana Lynn Bailey's pretty hot personally. It's my opinion. Who's uglier, Frenchie or Cubby? I don't know. That's a tough one, man. You're asking me to pick between Strap-On Destiny and Frenchie. I mean, neither one of them is really a looker. Or do you consider packing vegan games claims you're not packing? Well, has he seen it? So he's bought pictures. I mean, I'm not massive. Some people will try to say it, but I'm really not. I'm above average. But I guess it all depends. People watch too much porn, so they have a very distorted idea. Whereas women will give you a much better idea. Or go look at statistics. Coach says it. Chuck, I've realized more and more I have quite a few. Definitely have a lot of them. So that's kind of the thing, man. If people are going to look, and anyways, you might as well get paid for it. Yeah. And that's totally it. It's a business. It's like I said in the Loveliner video, he's a businessman. I'm a businessman. I don't know who Brandy Love is. Then tell her she needs to collab with me. You go find her and tell her. I can't run all these people down. Mark Loveliner, right? Can't run them all down. So are we going to talk training, or is all y'all going to talk about? I mean, you people, all right, let me be honest. All you people talking about the OnlyFans and you're not even on it? You see what I'm saying, guys? You're not even on it. Why are you obsessed with it? There's a point where I'm going to say, hey, Tristan, you're like saying all this stuff. So here's my question. What's your name on there? Which one of my followers are you? Is doing incline bench first on push day a good idea for someone wanting to focus on upper chest? It could be. It's entertainment, though, Jason. We're like watching you go back and forth with other channels. It's vintage, Jason. True. Well, let's get them other channels involved in the fight. I want some more people to call me out on it. Thoughts on, I don't know what that means, on moving Canada. Because if you're asking me moving to, why? Why would I do that? Why would I want to move to a communist hellhole? Why would I want to do that? And it's cold as hell too. I messed with it a little bit today, but I chose not to throw it in the vlog because I didn't really feel like doing it. Everyone's scared of you now, coach. Maybe they don't want to pick fights. They remember the old days and they know if I get my popularity back, it gets ugly. I mean, even when he does it as a pervert, I'm going to agree with that, Joe. I'm going to tend to agree there. But as long as people, then you get people who'll say that then they have a problem with what I'm doing then for business. It's like, do you appreciate a free market or not? Yeah, bodybuilder, that's not going to happen. You don't become that way. There's a big channel. There's a big channel, ironically called Big Craig, that called you out in a couple of videos. You should call him out. He was really, hey, James, send me the link on social media so that I know what's up. So send me it on Facebook or Instagram. Hey, Jason, when you said you should only train 3 to 4 days, is that skill training? Or, well, for some people, it's a question of recovery. It's a question of recovery. No, it won't work. Well, it might work in here. It'll go to the spam filter, but I can check it from there. So links go to a filter and then I have to approve them. But I'll see it in the filter usually, unless their AI deletes it. Man, I got to sort that out. I can't believe I got a big pimple on here. Ruining my live. I don't have time to go deal with it. I got to get this live done. Man. But look up who owns the. Hey, Tristan, do we really need to go all there, dude? Oh, my God. I already know where you're going with that. All right. So what else we got going on? That Chuck, some of it will pick back up, I have a feeling, if I do certain things right. Thanks. Makes sense only training my sport 6 days a week, but dial back if I notice any pain. Yeah. Well, James, we're a long way to go. Right? I've switched back over to some close gripping, have to build that up, and we'll start moving forward. How much creatine? I actually haven't been taking my creatine. I'd pay you for an interview. How much, Chuck? My time is worth $100 an hour for consultations. Do you have a rough timeline? It's too soon to tell, James. The goal is this year, but we're a long way to go. I'd like to see it by the end of the year. So that means by December, I'm hoping and praying. All right. But it may be a rough ride. I'll find out. Let me see how all the close gripping goes, how the shoulder health goes, and we'll see what happens with it. But I'm gonna have to do a little bit more pressing like I'm doing now to do it. And I've got to get some of the muscles bigger. My chest has got to get bigger. My triceps have to get bigger. That's the only way it's going to happen. Not had a natty or not in a while. Yeah, I need to get another one. I still have the whole list. They haven't been that popular. My coaching is $250 a month. I put up ads for it every day, Chuck. You don't see them spamming through the channel. You'll see them on the community tab. It's all good. $250. $250. I need to one day raise it to $350 just so I can be like, it's $350. Loch Ness Monster coaching. The 200 was a special for a while. Yep. I told you guys I was running a special, and then it would come back up. So y'all should have jumped on it if you wanted it at 200. You would be locked in. I think removing the laterals and upright rows will help with the shoulder. I think so too, and the wider grip benching. That whole combination. I was watching videos of hog hunting. Yes. Oh, MI7. I'm doing better than most. Like I know coaches who are really, really crying about it. Like it's bad for them. Like I was chatting with a guy, like I'm talking like an 800-pound squatter who said his last new client was 12 months ago. He went a whole year without a single sign up. They were driving around with a minigun. I've never seen anyone do a minigun for hog hunting. I did no, you can use other cards, Yorkie. I did 2 years straight on laterals. Time for a little break. There you go. Okay, coach, I'll link them. All right. Intermediate's been the economy, people's disposable income, inflation, lower disposable income, all that stuff. Those people, no, even the real life trainers, because they charge even more. Online training is way cheaper. Like for you to hire the average personal trainer who's going to have you squat on a BOSU ball will cost you more than my online coaching. Literally. Virtual coaching costs less in general. Like I know people who are paying $500, $700, $800 a month to normal, regular trainers who don't have the strength or experience I have, just at box gyms. A lot of them are paying $50 a session 3 times a week. Right? Do the math on it. That's like $600. That's kind of almost an industry standard. I saw a trainer doing an Anderson squat with a client today, 2 by 5 on either side of the bar. It was a smaller, weaker client. I don't know why they just don't have them back squat. Chad Life says some people just need the in-person. Chad, you do in-person, right? A lot of in-person coaching, is my understanding. I used to in-person train quite a bit, but only part-time. For me, the online has been just a better venture. Unless I owned a gym, then it would be different. Right. That would be a little bit different. Chuck, I don't know. I really don't know. If you owned a gym, what would you call it? I don't know. You might call it cock diesel strong. All right. Jason, and some tell me, I just can't do it alone. I need someone here with me. Yeah, there are some like that. What's your reaction when the guys take gear to get to a 3-plate bench? It happens. Take on private clients at your home gym. That would be prohibitively expensive in my 7 because of the impact on my schedule and having to schedule my life around it. Them showing up multiple times a week. I don't even know what I would charge. No one's ever actually offered as a serious offer. Like who has money? You know. Jason, did you reach a 315 bench before gear? Yes. Is a 350 bench rare for relatively lean and natural, say 200 pounds or less? Okay, Joe. It's absurdly rare. Let me state that again. A 350 bench press for someone who's lean, natural, and under 200 pounds, insanely rare. Like 1 in a million, top 1% genetics. I have a question, work capacity, because it's very hard to train with optimal number of sets per week. Like minimalist isn't optimal, but it's impressive if train hard and do optimal sets. I don't really get your question. There's a lot of factors with that. If I had unlimited space with machines, would you buy hack squats? Maybe. I mean, if I had unlimited space and unlimited budget, my home gym would be looking like the rocks. Could the same be said for a 500 squat? Honestly, I think that is possibly slightly more common. Still extremely absurdly rare. But honestly, I think that's actually going to be statistically more likely because of how much gear and body fat impact the bench. That's actually more likely. I've actually met guys who I was sure were natural who pulled that off, right? I've met quite a few of them. The 350 bench, though, I'd say that's definitely way rarer than that same statistic for a 500 squat. If someone lifts the same as you at 70 pounds less body weight, are they stronger than you? No, they have better relative strength, but their strength is not. If you weigh 1,000 pounds and you squat 801, you're stronger than a guy who weighs 50 pounds and squats 800. You squatted a whole pound more, you are objectively stronger. His relative strength blows yours out of the water. Squat doesn't just feel right. I may just do a leg press for quad. Well, is 6 heavy sets of bench and 6 heavy sets of overhead press too much volume per week? Not necessarily. You know, Alpha Destiny had a 405 bench. I think that's insane. On plenty of gear, plus sleeves, and it's a red light lift. Just throwing that out there, Justin. That lift is a no-go, even without the sleeves. As a meat judge, I would have to red light it as a no lift. Anyone who's judged a meat will agree with me, by the way. I get better results with 2 days a week training. Is it abnormal? I don't know. Didn't you say, no, I didn't say that. I said it builds it less than some people. It builds glutes slightly more than quads, though, according to all the studies. So do your strength standards change when on gear? Sort of, but I don't really care. Bill, see, that name doesn't sound familiar. It doesn't ring a bell. So basically being stronger doesn't mean jacked. What do you mean? Well, Henderson bench 320. Well, so far, no one looks like they're going to bench even 800. You should call out Covey on his channel about it. Is a 3-day week training good for 90% of gains? Yep. I definitely think squatting 500 is easier than the 350 bench. Then again, I have long arms, yeah. Jason, I agree with your comments about bench strength. Overall, all the years of going to the gym, the only people I've seen bench well north of 350 plus were weighted up fat or very short arms. Yep. Yep. Ed wrote, is a 225 bench press possible for naturals? Of course. Do you watch the Elite? I haven't in a while. I've watched a bunch of them in the past. It's been years. Is a 225 overhead press achievable for a natty under 200 pounds? Possible or likely? So Ed, here's your question. My question is it possible for a guy with average genetics? Because you said natty under 200 pounds. I don't know. How good of genetics are we talking about? They have freak genetics. I'm going to answer obviously yes. They have average genetics. I'm going to go in the direction of absurdly unlikely. That's like a lifetime dedicated goal. Like that is a serious, super specialty commitment. Would you recommend a 6-day push-pull legs for anyone? A few rare individuals. What is 3 days? Push-pull legs is good for 3 days. Cubby blasted gear and was over 200 at 5'4" with sleeves and was he over 200 when he did that? I didn't know he was that heavy. At average genetic guy, under 200 pounds, strict pressing 225 natural. That's a hell of a push. I mean, I'm not going to say impossible, but man, that's going to take pretty much absolute dedication. Jason, those bell peppers you get are a great way to get vitamin C without any sugars. Yeah, that's a great way to get just vitamins and phytonutrients in general. Are you going to bring back the max effort method eventually? I think athletic training for strength is underrated. I don't think it's underrated at all. It's not that great. Are you saying that going and doing athletics is going to give you a high rate of absolute strength? I'm going to say not really. Just try some specificity of training here, bro. You should lift some heavy weights. If that's your goal, if your goal is actually strength, which is force production, like producing force against an external object. Strength training is great for athletics. Now, am I saying athletic training isn't useful? No, it is. It's useful to be athletic. Mike Mender's ideas are kind of crazy. Do you still think training minimally? It can be implemented correctly by people who don't have the time for other stuff. It can be extremely effective. 700 deadlift report by bench both as rare as one another. I'm gonna go. Yeah, they're in that same tier of rarity. And objectively, most people are going to be more genetically geared towards one of those than the other, even when drugs come into the mix. How many sets per month? It's not a set number, Tristan. Depends on what you're doing with your programming. Some people have them do as few as 6. Some people as many as 12 or 13. How many sets did Minzer do before he came out with HIIT? Similar volumes to everyone else, just a little bit less. I notice when I get faster, my strength goes up. I don't know why though. But I guess the whole idea, you're also talking about still strength training. You didn't quit lifting weights and go do athletic training and walk in and get a squat of 500 pounds. That's what I'm saying, Justin. No, I don't think you need to avoid combining fats and carbs in the same meal, Larry. All this boasting of alternatives I work with rather prescribe HIIT cardio than steady state. Yeah. What's your protein and carb intake as of today? Ballpark, I don't know, whatever trace amount of carbs are in my peanut butter and yogurt. I'm not tracking it exactly. Protein, I try to shoot for about 300. It's crazy how many different people's bodies and leverages are. It's all down to what you're born with. Nature will decide if you're going to be a good bencher or a good squatter. Yeah. And a few people are just gifted at both. Those rare freaks are good at all 3 lifts. But the people have to understand how rare they are. I don't like the Smith machine intermediate. How much protein do we actually need? For what purpose? Where did you meet your lawyer? I've had more than one lawyer in my life. Could you be specific, Rondo? Specificity of training. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you want to be strong, you need to actually train for maximum strength. Not saying some athletic stuff and other stuff doesn't carry over. Tristan, that's like saying, how much money do we actually need? Well, there are benefits potentially to going over the minimum that you need. No, and I've already discussed that a lot, Ed, and that's a very nuanced topic. Yes, there are cases where you may want to bulk or cut, obviously. But generally, I think bulking and cutting need to be extremely small, extremely slow, and recomposition as possible. No, I don't know that person intermediate. How much muscle can you expect to keep? Hey, Chad, muscle? How are you defining muscle? See, this is where it gets tricky. So by muscle, are you asking me purely the contractile proteins? We're not discussing transient storage factors, inflammation, extra glycogen storage, right? And how big of a blast are you talking? I mean, are you talking a guy running 3 grams going down to TRT? Or are you talking about a guy who just blasts 600, 800 a gram? So be specific. So re-ask your question. Do you ever worry about getting, I have to think about injury a lot. That's why I'm careful with a lot of what I do. That's why we worry about fatigue management. That's why we worry about overuse. How important is sleep? Well, you'll die without it. It's also pretty critical for your recovery from training, fat loss, gaining muscle. Hey, Tristan, I don't know that there's a minimum for recomposition. It's probably in that close to maximum amount for pure muscle growth, but more is more useful. Much higher protein intakes can be beneficial towards recomposition. your minimum might be somewhere in the range of about 1.4 to 1.5 grams per kilo of body weight. But there's benefits to even doubling that for recon. Wasn't it said, I said that and then Prondo, and how long ago did I take all that back and admit I was wrong? So Prondo, here's the thing. If a person says something years ago and then they come forward and they say multiple times in public, I don't know, 15 times, 20 times, hey, it looks like I was wrong. So here's my question. How many times do I need to say I was wrong based on the evidence before we don't bring up, hey, this was said in the past? So what's the count? How many times? Is it 10, 15, 20, 50? Give me a number. So when I get to that number, you don't get to keep asking me that. I'm at about 25 right now with multiple specific videos made towards it. So when I get to, so throw me a number, homie. Harry versus Harry, 0, what? Do you think muscle loss on cut is rare if cutting slow? Depends. No, you don't have to apologize stuff for that, man. We thought it was brilliant entertainment back in the day, better than WWE. What's wrong with that? Never apologize. I know, right? I don't need to. I figure if I apologize for something and then I literally got a bomb squad closing my street and I've apologized, like I don't need to apologize anymore. We're done. Do you think protein powder is a good source of protein? How about both? The answer to your question is both. Protein powder is a great source of protein and you should eat whole food. I don't know if Elge intensity is an incel. Hey, Jacob, nobody's saying 3 inches. No one is saying 3 inches. Just stop. All right. If they are, they haven't seen it. If you had more space, would you get a good leg press? Maybe. 315 incline or 350 flat, which is more impressive? I don't know. What mistakes? Hey, Chuck, we've discussed it in vast detail already in the vlogs. Like I have whole, long vlog discussions. I think one of the biggest is my going to really, really wide bench press was one of the big factors that I noticed a correlation. Which comes back to what did I say in the other videos? Hey guys, remember when I said years and years ago the closer grip is probably better for your shoulders long term? And then I eventually said, but I should be stronger, wider grip. Let's work wider grip. I'm just going to build it up. I'm going to dedicate myself to doing it. And then it turns out I was right all along. I was right for 10 years. And me trying something different because I listened to certain people, like a specific PhD. You know what I mean? Probably was not wise. It was worth the experiment, but I feel it was an enormous factor. Then some of the side delt work probably hasn't helped. Yeah, the really wide grip benching seems to have been the largest catalyst. Jason, no, I can make fun of Chuck Basher because I don't take anything in the booty. I don't be showing my booty hole. I don't do stuff with other mans like Chucky Chuck, but it's all good. I can always bash Chuck Basher. I always done a closer grip for bench. Think GVP would be sleeping with someone for cash. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say more in that direction. Or at least doing, a video with another man. That would probably fall in that category. But, people seeing your penor, that there are no other men present in the room at the time of said picture. I don't think that counts. I think having a home gym is a very beneficial take out of the barrier of not having time. So let me explain what G means. Okay. If there's one penor and no hole in the room, one penor, no vajaja, no other penor, it doesn't count as anything. It's just a person. Okay. If there's one penor and one vajaja, this is called hetero. Okay. If there's two penors, that's called homo. You understand how that works? I'm glad that we had this basic sex ed lesson for middle school. Yeah, I still have all the police reports. Which doctor? It was in 2015, I believe. 2016, something like that. Dan James says it's not if there's a three-way, as long as the balls don't touch. Thought $20 is $20. It is. Tristan, as I said, I'm strictly taco, no burrito, but $20 is $20. Doesn't mean you're actually doing stuff, though. I mean, I'm willing to take the money. Yeah, I've been swatted a couple times. Is overhead press a good chest builder? Not really. All right, guys, we're closing in on the top of the hour. I think it is time to about wind this down. We're going to go ahead and wind it down. I hope it's been informative. Give you guys a forum shot before we go. And I'll talk to you guys next time.